Welcome back, everyone. I'm the Depressed Dealer, and this is Langrisser Mobile Apex Season 14. Alright, so our opponent here has 3 tanks. Let's see, 1, 2... Is it really only 2 healers? Yeah, only 2 healers. Okay. I'm just checking things. Yeah. So 3 primary tanks. There's technically a physical tank, a couple of physical tanks available with Polyol and Grinshield. But beyond that, it's a lot of ways to negate or bypass guard for the most part. So few casters, nothing too special. Of course, these types of boxes tend to be the easier ones for me to deal with, so that's perfect. My opponent opened by banning my one and only assassin, which I guess means that they definitely want to stick with tank pushing. So I open with banning Christiane here. I mean, I was going to ban Christiane no matter what because of her ability to reduce magic damage in her aura. But doing this made it automatically put my opponent in the situation where they have two healers and 2 tanks, which means they have to pick one or the other. I go ahead and grab the Awakener. So yeah, the Awakened, I mean, I was a little concerned about them maybe banning Risen Seal and then, you know, taking their own Awakened, but honestly, I was okay with that if that ended up being the case. They instead banned my tanks, two of my tanks, and then they take Rose and Seal. So I was like, all right, well, I'm completely fine with you having no tanks. So I banned all their tanks, or at least all their magic tanks. And I grabbed my Christiane because I needed a tank. They go ahead and start banning my healers. So I need to pick a primary healer to take Grinshield. I go ahead and ban their. I ban Epsilon specifically because he can faction buff for a lot of the assassins that are in here. And then I got rid of the Awaken because I didn't really want to deal with possibly being swapped or anything like that, or get hit the usual spellbounds and things like that. I go ahead and take Sissy White just simply because just for the potential of having another tank just in case Grinshield becomes a problem. My opponent starts banning more of my AoE. They grab their assassin, or sorry, they grab was it Kagura, or whatever the KA name is. At this point, I didn't want to deal with any stun, so I got rid of both the characters that can inflict stun, as well as possibly guard bypass. I go ahead and grab Lucretia. I had a lot of options here. I could have done Agnes, but since they did grab Kyra and they have Risen Seal, I felt like I didn't really want to do an AoE fight here, and since I took care of the tanks, I think I'm going to be doing more single target for this particular battle. So they go ahead and ban up my remaining casters. They grab their Lucretia. So yeah, even after 4 picks, they didn't ever grab Jintoki, nor did they ever grab Sword and Light and Shadow. So at this point, I went ahead and banned both of them. I'm completely fine with my opponent having Elma. And then Werner here, I'm kind of okay with dealing with. He's definitely annoying, especially if I do go single target. But the moment I take care of Kyra, I can take out Werner with the Awakens 3C pretty easily. So I have a choice of taking another tank or another healer. For this, I just took another healer just in case I get hit with AoEs. And I grab Werner. Alright, so I did swap out my Dark Hole for Doom Oracle. Swapped out Dark Hole for Dark Reaper. Sissy White I brought Inspire just for Spectral Mobility. I went ahead and took Mass Heal with Sophia, just in case I did get hit with, like, you know, Dark Hole or something. And then Christiane, I stuck with Angel since majority of this is magic. Well, a decent number of it is magic damage, and I wasn't too concerned about Werner or Grinshield by themselves. Speaking of, we got Werner here. I think he has an exclusive now that lets him automatically start in a stance, which is a bit annoying. We got Lucretia, who brought Mass Attack and Shadow Coordination, of all things. This is like the thing that buffs up the Golem, I believe. I mean, it has the ability to like bypass guard, I guess, but that's so weird. Besides that, we got Rosen Seal here, full heals, it looks like. Grin Shield, of course. Lightning, of all things. I was not expecting lightning as one of the attacks for Grin Shield. Kyera here did bring Gospel on 3C. Beyond that, nothing too out of the ordinary. So the big thing here is I need to take advantage of the fact that I go first. So I'm going to spend this first round kind of setting up as much as I can, and then try to rush down to take someone out, because they don't have any tanks to guard against magic, so I can try to shoot down whoever I want for the most part. So I move pretty aggressively here. I'm just outside of Kyera's ranged extended staff range, assuming she doesn't get breezed or Tenyo procced. So yeah, this was kind of weird. The Lucretia spread out really far. So this is actually outside of self-res range. I mean, there's some benefits because the swap teleport is actually pretty long range. So this does give her kind of a lot of coverage if she does want to just ensure that she can go, along both lanes at the same time. Beyond that, though, I don't really know what the plan was. So 3C faction buff. So here, at this point, I can kill Werner. All I have to do literally is just go. I can literally move here or here, swap places with the puppet, move to here, and then 3C to here. This is when I kind of realized that Werner is kind of super vulnerable against the Awakened. Werner's main gimmick is the fact that he can go into a riposte stance, where he essentially can counterattack from like extreme ranges as long as no allies are nearby. The problem is no allies nearby means beyond 2 squares, which is the exact span of the Awakened's 3C. So in order for Werner to be able to do riposte stance properly, he has to completely expose himself to 3C. And 3C pretty much can kill most single targets that are not heavily magic resistant. Yeah, unfortunately I decided to just do this first. I did Inspire first just to get the mobility. Of course, when I did it, I was like, I should have probably went and killed Werner first. But playing it safe is actually kind of okay, because worst case scenario is somebody's going to move closer to Werner, in which case I can't 3C him, but then I can just do a single target because riposte stance won't work. So either way, I was kind of just safe with taking my time here, and it also ensured that my opponent would have less units to actually counterattack with. And sure enough, Grid Shield moves away. Not sure why. This pretty much puts her completely out of range. So you Dimensional Shift here. I went ahead and threw out Spellbounds. There's no real point when there's a Rosen Seal. I also shouldn't have put it on the Werner if I was going to kill him anyway. But yeah, even in Forest Terrain, I was still able to just blow him up, get another Spellbound. So I just kind of keep whittling down the crystal barriers, and then get attacked by Kyera here. I can counterattack here. I have the Reflect Ring, which procced. So double kill here. And I respawn at the start of next turn. And my opponent gives up. So yeah, pretty quick and easy match. Not much else to say about it. Werner is actually not that dangerous anymore, especially if you have Awakened, which is nice. And Awakened versus Kyera, I mean, every time so far, it's always been a trade. It's either been a trade or I barely eke out on top. So either way, Kyera just gets shut down by Awakened. Like, you just can't assassinate the Awakened with her. It just doesn't work. So, good stuff here. Not much else to report. I probably won't have a video next week. I'm going to be out of town. I may do a match like on my phone or something if I find the time. But I usually don't do these matches on phone. I usually do it on a PC because it's just easier for me. But either way, I'm not going to really have time to record it. So probably won't be a video next week. Also, this week was the new banner for equipment. Yeah, which got you... it had a bunch of new options, like the Prismatic Destroyer. I already went ahead and got a Prismatic Destroyer and the Edge of Memories. Both are pretty good items. The Prismatic Destroyer is pretty much designed for the upcoming Archer that's coming out soon. Or coming out in a month, I suppose. It provides attack as well as extra AoE damage, and so it's really rather useful. Besides that, the Awakened, I think is... Yeah, the Awakened is going to... There it is. The Awakened will be 6 stars pretty much the day after you see this video. So, I'll be good to go on that front. So, anyway, I am the Depressed Hero. This was Langrisser Mobile Apex Season 14. I'll see you guys later.